licks, boy, I bust up. They found a plan to make it rich. Middle finger up, for a hater in this bitch, boy, on my side. Let's get it poppin' like some high fries. I told him fuck the runner, cause I'm trying to catch the top guy. Give it up. This is Coochie Van, no Dooney truck. Say you got the soldier here, and we shoot it up. Niggas always capping nowadays, ain't nothing new. Pillow talking for the hoes, get capped for acting cool. Pistol packing double D's and all these hoes, we in the stew. You move on, bitches popping out just like a zoo.
I don't know, but
Um, I know that you probably don't want to do this, but you're going to have to describe for the ladies and gentlemen of the jury what happens when you come out that door and you're holding that hammer.
She tells me why I'm doing this.
She says, "Why are you doing this?"
Yes.
Now, are you covered up in such a way that she shouldn't know who you are?
Yeah, I have a mask on.
Do you say anything to her?
No.
What do you do?
I hit her in the head.
When you
Oh
hit her
my
in the head,
gosh.
what happens?
She hits the floor.
And after she hits the floor, what do you do?
I jump on top of her.
After you jump on top of her, what do you do?
I keep on hitting
oh yeah, this man insane. Hey, yeah. So no, treating them like a child or of their own, so they use it for care. That's what I'm saying. Like the foster care system needs to be managed in a way where, like, how about this? This would be smartest shit to do. They create a foster care, like if they get money for fostering children, you have like you get certain amount towards yourself, like because you are taking in a child, like you maybe say if it's a balance of like I don't know $1,000, whatever the case may be. The state pays the person fostering kids maybe $300 $400. That's for them, but then the foster kids should get some type of card that can be monitored, like you can monitor transactions to see what is used for. And if you use it for a random transaction that's not supposed to, then they call you and be like, "Hey, is this for the child?" And then the child can, be on the phone with them. Come on. I feel like it might be a tougher system, and that technology might be years away from doing shit like that to perfect that. But like, come on, damn, 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 damn.
Las Vegas, Nevada, often referred to as the entertainment capital of the world, is a city
I want to
that
go to
never
Vegas one
sleeps,
day.
renowned for its vibrant nightlife.
Yo, once we start making money from YouTube and stuff, because I'm telling you, this year 2024, we're hitting 1,000 subscribers. I'm marking it. But once we do start making money from this, all that's going back into the channel, and we're gonna be doing more content, bro. We're gonna be doing like travel videos and all of that. As soon as we could turn this into a career, bro,
centered around
that's the
24-hour
goal.
casinos and other entertainment options. The famous strip, stretching over 4 miles, is a dazzling runway where the hotels and casinos are more flamboyant than a Lady Gaga outfit. But away from the glitz, the glam, and the occasional impromptu wedding officiated by an Elvis lookalike, Las
Insane
Vegas
energy.
harbors tales that are not just about luck and luxury. In the shadows of its luminous allure, crime often unfolds, bringing a dose of reality to the city's larger-than-life facade. Our story begins on March 13th, 1966 in Salt Lake City,
Damn.
Utah, where Shauna Ann Castleton was born into a world brimming with possibilities.
Oh, all
As
right.
the
I'm
years
like,
passed,
fuck.
her family sought new beginnings, moving to Broomall, Pennsylvania in 1978 and later settling in Virginia. It was here that Shauna, a bright and outgoing cheerleader, navigated the halls of middle and high school. Her vivacious personality shone brightly, making her a beloved figure among her peers. In 1994, at the age of 28, Shauna's journey took a dramatic turn as she ventured into the heart of Las Vegas, Nevada. This city, known for its vibrant energy and endless opportunities, became the backdrop for her new career. At Saks Fifth Avenue and Neiman Marcus, Shauna stepped into the world
Off
of
topic, but
cosmetic
I
sales,
feel like
where her charisma and
this
flair for
view of
connection
Vegas makes
were
it look so
undeniable.
beautiful.
Yet, it wasn't long before Shauna discovered a new passion within the hospitality industry. She transitioned to working as a cocktail waitress, first at the Fiesta Casino and then at the renowned Palms Casino. In these lively environments, Shauna's infectious joy and dedication to her work did not go unnoticed. Patrons and colleagues alike were drawn to her radiant energy and warm presence. It was in this glittering world of chance and excitement that Shauna found her stride. She thrived, not just in her role, but financially too, earning an impressive salary and tips that exceeded $100,000 per year.
Damn.
It was under these circumstances that Shauna caught the eye of George Miguel TFA. George, a man of remarkable accomplishments himself, was a valet at the same casino. His past painted the picture of a quintessential American success story. In his high school days in California, George was not just an athlete but also the homecoming king, beloved by his peers. His drive and dedication led him to the prestigious West Point Academy, followed by a distinguished service in the Army Corps of Engineers. George's striking looks and charisma even landed him a spot in a Firefighter pinup calendar. But beyond his outward achievements, his character radiated through in his personal life. He was known for his generosity, regularly sending money back home to support his mother and disabled sister. Described by his sisters as a giving soul, George's desire to serve others was a guiding force in his life. In October 2002, this dedication to service led him to a noble profession. George became a firefighter for Las Vegas
Same
Fire
shit.
and Rescue, a role in which he continued to demonstrate his commitment to helping others. His journey crossed paths with Shauna's in a twist of fate, bringing together two vibrant lives in the heart of Las Vegas. In the whirlwind of their lives, Shauna and George's paths intertwined romantically, marking the beginning of a new chapter together. Within a year of their relationship, they welcomed the joyous arrival of their daughter, further cementing their bond. 3 years later, under the warm Hawaiian sun on March 16, 2006,
Aw.
they exchanged vows, their love blossoming into
They got married in Hawaii. Yo, that would be amazing, but Hawaii's expensive as fuck, bro. Yo, you know what I just found out, bro? I keep getting off topic, but Alaska is expensive, bro. I was watching a video. They were charging like $50 for a roll of paper towels. I said, what the fuck?
a marriage. This young family quickly became the epitome of love and togetherness in the eyes of many who knew them. George embraced his role as a doting father with open arms, while Shauna shined in her role as a devoted mother. Together, they navigated the journey of parenthood, frequently capturing and sharing the milestones of their family life with their circle of loved ones. After 2 happy years of marriage, things began to change in the TFA household. George lost a significant amount of money in the housing market crash of 2008, and that's
Damn.
when Shauna noticed a considerable change in his attitude. She confided to friends he had become jealous, controlling, and critical of her. For example, as she was getting dressed for work, he would say such things as, "You dress like a slut."
Yo, that's crazy. He couldn't handle a bad bitch. That's what it was. He couldn't handle a bad bitch. Some of these maybe 100 or more bucks. Yeah. Yo, so Hawaii is going to be, bro, I do want to travel to Hawaii. Like, I'm telling you, this year, this year I plan on going on a trip with my friends again, like August. But I can't, oh my gosh.
Around this time,
Can't wait.
George
I love
began
traveling. It's
regularly
my favorite
inviting a
thing.
homeless man named Noel, whom he paid for doing odd jobs around the house, into their home. This arrangement did not sit well with Shauna, who expressed to her friends that she found the man creepy. While George and Noel would spend time together drinking beers and conversing, some of George's close friends pointed out that his history of assisting the homeless made this behavior not out of the ordinary for him. This matter aside, the couple's relationship issues persisted, leading them to consider the possibility of separation.
Damn.
Shauna opened up to her friends and family about the verbal abuse and manipulation she was experiencing from George. As their relationship further deteriorated, George took the step of filing for divorce in the winter of 2011. It
Okay.
wasn't until April 2012, after a decade together, that Shauna gathered the courage to leave the marital home. She moved into an apartment, marking a new phase in her life. Despite the challenges, the TFAs were able to maintain a shared custody arrangement for their daughter.
Okay.
On September 8th, 2012, just 5 months after the separation, Shauna returned to a disheartening scene. Her apartment had been thoroughly ransacked. Amid the chaos, she noticed that her wedding ring and a single bathing suit bottom were missing. Strangely, a pair of small boxer shorts, presumably left by the intruder, was found at the scene. Perplexed, Shauna attributed
Yo, I want to know how delayed it is for y'all. Because I'm just now seeing your message, Pink. Like, it just popped up on the screen. Although Sweet Year's been going, that won't end well. Like, yo, side note, you ever notice, like, how sometimes in marriages, motherfuckers be, like, not fucking with each other no more? I feel like it's like you need to find your person. Like, you need to, like, in my opinion, before people get married, I believe y'all should live with each other for a few years. Before you get married, live with each other. Because you need to know if you can live with this person first before you go ahead and get married. That's my idea, bro.
the incident to a
Don't
juvenile
just go and
judge.
get married.
2 weeks later, as she clocked out to end her shift at the casino, she knew she could rely on the comforts of her cozy bed. What she did not know was that there was someone inside her apartment with bad intentions,
Oh
patiently
no.
waiting for her to arrive.
How the fuck they get into her apartment?
On September 29th, Shauna finished her shift at the Palms Casino at 3 a.m. She was captured on surveillance footage clocking out of work and heading out the back exit to her vehicle. 30 minutes later, as Shauna entered her apartment, she was brutally ambushed by a masked man wielding a hammer. As she tried to defend herself, she begged for her life and at one point asked, "Why are you doing this?" But the only responses came in the form of vicious hammer strikes.
Oh no.
As the clock neared 9 a.m., George, accompanied by their daughter, approached Shauna's apartment. An unusual sight immediately caught his attention. The garage door was inexplicably open. With a sense of foreboding, George cautiously stepped inside the apartment. The scene that unfolded before him was harrowing. Shauna lying on the ground, mortally wounded in a pool
Oh
of blood.
no.
George immediately dialed 911.
911 emergency status.
Police, I think I need to report a break-in and a murder. My wife is on the floor, bloody,
Oh
stiff,
no.
not moving. I have my daughter with me. I want to take her to my
Okay.
mom's house.
Well, stay right there a minute, okay?
Okay.
Do you know what the address is? And you don't live there, correct?
No, my wife and I live in separate places.
You see, I like how he still calls her his wife, even though he was an asshole. But like,
Okay. When's the last time you saw her?
Uh,
Right, you're good. Take a deep breath.
I'm a fireman. I was at work yesterday, so I saw her about 36 hours ago, I guess.
Okay,
I'm
about
not
3 days
sure.
ago? Okay.
A day and a half ago, I'm thinking something like that.
Okay.
that's what I'm
How old
saying.
is your daughter?
It's not a fast death either. Like, that's not a fast death. You gotta literally beat them a few times. Bam, bam. Why you doing this? Bam, bam. Stop. Help. Bam, bam, bam. Like, goddamn. Bro, you know how insane you gotta be to kill someone with a hammer, bro?
She's 8.
And she's with you, or where's she at?
She's right here with me.
Okay, what's your name, sir?
My name is George TFA.
Okay, do you see anything suspicious around her? Any weapons, any knives, guns?
No, I had to get my daughter out of there. We came over and the garage door was open and it's never open. And so we went in to grab some stuff for my daughter. My wife sleeps during the day because she works at night.
Right.
And she was on the floor when we walked in the door.
Where are you at right now?
I'm at the garage right now.
Okay, we do have an officer on the way, so just stay right outside and we'll get somebody out there for you, okay?
Oh, God. I didn't touch the body to check for a pulse.
That's okay. We'll have medical on the way as well, okay?
Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Responding medical personnel declared Shauna dead and observed injuries consistent with foul play. The Clark County Coroner's Office would later rule her death a homicide caused by multiple blunt force injuries.
Yeah.
As detectives arrived on the scene, they immediately focused on George as a person of interest. But George had an airtight alibi.
She was lying on the floor. Okay. And she was covered in blood. I just want to die.
What shift did you work yesterday?
A 24-hour shift.
George explained to the detectives that he had recently completed a grueling 24-hour shift. He mentioned that he was on call at the firehouse before he picked up his daughter, who had been staying at her grandmother's house while Shauna was at work. This account was corroborated by his colleagues at the fire department, who confirmed his presence on duty during the 24 hours leading up to his wife's murder. As a result, George was cleared of any immediate suspicion.
But did he
However,
hire
the
someone?
detectives found it peculiar when, the day after Shauna's murder, an attorney representing George contacted them, requesting that any future communications be directed through him. The detectives then turned their attention to the surveillance footage from the Palms Casino, hoping to spot someone tailing Shauna or approaching her in the parking lot as she left work. However, this line of investigation led nowhere. The footage revealed no signs of anyone following her either through the casino or to her car. This lack of evidence left the detectives perplexed and questioning who would want to harm Shauna TFA and for what reason. As leads dried up, it seemed increasingly likely that the case would go cold, possibly leaving Shauna without justice. A breakthrough in the case emerged when the police received a crucial tip through their hotline. An informant reported that a homeless man known as Greyhound had been boasting about killing a woman with a hammer. This Greyhound was identified as Noel Scott Stevens, a 4-time convicted felon.
That's what I'm saying. The kid, bro, imagine seeing this at your mom. Bro, I would lose my mind, bro, if I had to walk in on my mom like that.
With
My
a
mom's
history of
my
substance
rock,
abuse and
bro.
mental health issues. He resided in a tent on the city's outskirts. Upon apprehending Stevens, the police conducted a thorough search around his tent, in which they discovered a pair of his trousers stained with blood. Forensic analysis later confirmed that the blood matched Shauna's. Additionally, investigators found a barcode sticker indicating a hammer was purchased at a Lowe's home improvement store.
Shaking my head.
As the investigation continued, a forensic download of his mobile phone showed a contact named George. When asked
Oh
who that
shit.
was, Stevens stated, "That's my friend, the firefighter." Call records revealed Stevens and George TFA had phoned each other constantly leading up to the murder. In fact, George called Stevens 87 times in September, including 5 times on the night before the murder. As the investigation progressed, detectives found evidence
Don't tell
George
me
had
he
gone to
hired
a
this
Lowe's
nigga.
store and made a copy of his wife's apartment key, which he later gave to Stevens. Presented
the
with the
fuck?
evidence, Stevens eventually confessed to officers that George TFA had offered to pay him $5,000 to kill Shauna. George had even taken Stevens to a local store to buy supplies, a claim that was backed up by video footage of the pair purchasing a hammer, ski mask, and black clothing at Lowe's. Stevens formally pleaded guilty just 4 months after the murder and accepted a plea deal.
Damn.
As part of his plea arrangement, he agreed to testify against George. Stevens informed prosecutors that George made sure they purchased a hammer with a fiberglass handle that would not break. Stevens said he made several dry runs before he killed Shauna, at one point burglarizing her apartment. In another instance, Stevens staked out
Yo,
her
what's up?
workplace but was caught by police officers who thought they were observing a burglary in progress. They confiscated his fiberglass hammer, filed a report, and let him go. Then, on the morning of September 29th, Stevens broke into Shauna's apartment and, armed with a wooden hammer, waited for her to arrive home from work. During cross-examination, Stevens was asked to describe what took place once Shauna entered the apartment.
Oh
What are you
no.
holding when she comes out?
A hammer.
Okay. Now the hammer that you're using, why that hammer?
Because I didn't want to go and buy another one.
Okay.
I'd rather
That's what I'm saying. And it wasn't even a lot of money. It was only $5,000. And yes, $5,000 is a lot of money. But like to commit such a crime, it's like, come on, bro. Why would you do that? What was the point of hiring someone to commit a crime against your ex-wife? Now the kid's gonna grow up without any parents. Yo, I'm
So
doing
let me
good.
ask you this:
Doing
that
good, man. How about
hammer,
yourself?
where did you get that hammer from?
Lowe's.
Okay, but that day, I mean, where was it between the time you bought it at Lowe's until the time you used it to kill Shauna?
At my first camp.
Okay. And why didn't you use that hammer? You bought it before you bought some of the other hammers. Why not keep that hammer and use it every time you tried?
Because it's wood.
And what was the problem with wood?
It'll break.
Who told you that?
George.
Okay. So now you have the wood hammer in your hand because you were cheap. What happens?
I hit her in the head.
I know that you probably don't want to do this, but you're going to have to describe for the ladies and gentlemen of the jury what happens when you come out that door and you're holding that hammer.
She tells me why I'm doing this.
She says, "Why are you doing this?"
Yes.
Now, are you covered up in such a way that she shouldn't know who you are?
Yeah, I have a mask on.
Do you say anything to her?
No.
What do?
I hit her in the head.
When you hit her in the head, what happens?
She hits the floor.
And after she hits the floor, what do?
I jump on top of her.
And if you jump on top of her, what do?
I keep on hitting her.
With the hammer?
Yes.
What happens to the hammer while this is happening?
It breaks.
So after the hammer breaks, what do?
I throw the piece of wood away and grab the metal piece and keep on hitting.
Despite his cooperation, Stevens received a harsher than expected sentence of 42 years to life for murder, conspiracy, burglary, and robbery. Judge Eric Johnson shared with Stevens the thought
Still caught
process
the
behind
case.
his determination.
In this case is the conduct of someone, quite frankly, who has no soul. I'm not sure I see the remorse that's discussed here in your heart. I see largely a man who, unfortunately, as I've watched your testimony, I think if this was a different day and age, a number of years earlier, had some potential before, whether it be your mental conditions or your alcohol or drug use, largely has, like I said, taken away your soul. I just don't see the morality.
No, that nigga described it without fucking caring. That's what I'm saying. He killed her, but he was I feel like he was hired to do so, unless he wasn't. But let's see.
Or the empathy, or the sense of responsibility. You essentially agreed to brutally kill this woman with a hammer, knowing that the only way to do it was to essentially bash in her head. And I just never got a sense that there was any hesitancy on your part to do this at any time.
What was the ex-husband sentenced to?
According to an arrest report, detectives informed George TFA's mother and sister on October 8th that he was being investigated for planning his wife's slaying. Shortly afterward, George TFA drove his truck 76 miles per hour into a retaining wall at the end of Summerlin Parkway and the Las Vegas Beltway in an apparent suicide attempt.
Damn.
George TFA survived, and detectives arrested him 2 days later at University Medical Center. When detectives told him he was being arrested, George TFA replied, "Okay." He then asked to call his attorney, take a shower, and brush his teeth. TFA was initially charged with conspiracy to commit murder, possession of burglary tools, conspiracy to commit burglary, conspiracy to commit robbery, burglary while in possession of a deadly weapon, robbery with the use of a deadly weapon, and first-degree murder with the use of a deadly weapon. The supposed motive? He did not want to face the financial consequences of a divorce. The trial of Nevada versus George TFA included 5 days of testimony from over 20 witnesses and 3 hours of closing arguments. After 15 hours of
Bro, I feel like y'all could have just ended that. Bro, oh my God. Make us sign a prenup!
deliberation, the jury had reached a verdict.
District Court, Clark County, Nevada, the State of Nevada Plaintiff versus George M. TFA Defendant. Case number C286317, Department number 20. Verdict. We, the jury, in the above entitled case, find the defendant, George M. TFA, as follows. Count 1, conspiracy to commit murder, guilty.
At the sentencing phase of the trial, the narrative of TFA's life prior to the crime was highlighted by both the prosecution and the defense. TFA, a U.S. military academy at West Point graduate, was formerly regarded as a local hero, especially among his fellow firefighters. In his defense, attorney Robert Langford appealed to the judge, urging consideration of TFA's honorable past. Langford argued, "Who you were for a long, long time should count for something and not count against you. The things that you've done good in this life should also count, and it shouldn't be twisted around." This plea emphasized the importance of TFA's previous contributions and character in the sentencing decision. Chief Deputy District Attorney Mark DiGiacomo had a different viewpoint, stating, "It's precisely Mr. TFA's history that makes this crime so egregious." Ultimately, George TFA was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of
Darn.
parole. Judge Johnson told TFA that he couldn't make sense.
What up, chat? All right, we're back, y'all.
Of why you, of all people, would do something that you know would be so cruel to so many people beyond just Shauna. My sentence today is not based upon holding you to a higher standard. My sentence is based upon the fact that this was just pure evil.
All right, let's see what the comments got to say in this joint. I ain't gonna lie, yeah. You just call need ambulance. He almost had it. He almost had it, but he slipped up. Cause that would mean you had a heart. All right. Next video. I think we're gonna do one more